biggest success I feel I had in my time there was rebuilding that relationship and how that relationship was rebuilt. And I'll be honest, it took a key person to retire on the Air District side in '05 for things to start getting better. And there became a willingness for both sides to work together. And by the time I retired, for several years, they were actually calling us up saying, hey, you got a good burn window. Is there anything you can burn? And I was like, I can't believe I'm having this conversation, but I sure like it. And to this point now, the air quality is still bad in the Southern Sierra, in that area, Fresno, Visalia area, Bakersfield. It's still bad air quality, and we don't burn when the air quality is bad. But now, whenever we just burn when we get good weather, but they give us the window, and that was a real accomplishment. And it wasn't just me, of course. It was both sides and other people on the Park Service side and the Air District side willing to come together and work together. And the guy who took my place, he doesn't know how lucky he's got it so easy compared to what we had when I got there. You know, it's not like one of those old timers, the hills were steeper back then, but no, he really does have that's probably, I think, one of my, in spite of all the acres I might have burned, or there's always more to burn, but that, if I had any kind of accomplishment that I personally felt that I achieved in my career, was rebuilding that relationship and leaving that behind versus two agencies that hated each other, you know, wouldn't talk to each other. But so that was kind of cool. That was probably the biggest political stuff we had to really deal with. And the smoke is still, air quality is always going to be an issue in the Southern Sierra, and there's no way around it. And so we have to be responsible burners. We would shut ourselves down if we were burning on marginal days, even when they gave us permission. There was probably 2 or 3 times where we actually called the Air District and said, actually, we're going to hold off because we don't like the way the smoke's not ventilating, and just building that credibility with them. And that was really important. And for us to do that, and for them to hear that message and realize, okay, these guys are really, they're not, you know, we were real upfront when we burned to get the citation. I called them and told them right away that decision was made to continue burning. You know, it wasn't like we did it behind their back, and we could have, because they would have never have known, because they weren't on site and it was way up in the mountains. But you got to have integrity in this business, even if it's a fault. But no, you really do. You need to be upfront and have integrity and be willing to step forward when you've made a mistake. You got to step forward and own it.